na na na. Family goes, oh na na na. Oh na na na. Come kick it with the Casey's. All that love and all those babies. C-A-S-C-Y. Welcome to the lives. Welcome. C-A-S-C-Y. DJ Envy and Gia, oh oh. It's time to kick it with the Casey's. You're tuned into the Casey crew.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And it's another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome. Hello, beautiful people.
And we got to start off by saying thank you so much for all the love and support on our new book, Real Life, Real Family. It debuted #1 and #2 in the parenting section on Amazon, which means a lot. #1 was the Audible, so thank you. #2 was the hardcover. We just need a favor, just one favor. Please, if you purchased the book or you got the Audible, just leave a review on Amazon because we would love to see what you think about the book, what you love more, what you love the most. No, I'm just joking, but what you think about the book. So please, if you can, leave a review. I just want to say thank you so much for all the support. Gia and I really put a lot into writing this book. You know, we've been married 24 years. We have 6 kids and we've seen it all. You know, people think when you have a child, you think it's easy. There's no instruction manual. So we break down the steps that we take to raise our kids. And hopefully it's a guide for your journey and can help you.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun doing all these promo, but we're not done. We just did the New York promo. So salute to all the radio stations, all the TV. We're going to start hitting Atlanta next week. And then I think LA. And then we go to the Midwest. And then we go to the South. So this is just a start. So if you haven't purchased the book, please pick it up. Believe me, if you have kids or you're thinking about having kids or you know somebody with kids, this will be a perfect gift. So definitely pick up Real Life, Real Family. We thank you guys and appreciate it so damn much. You don't know how much we appreciate it. We've seen all your DMs and all your comments. Gia responded to a lot of you guys. So just thank you. Just thank you. Now let's jump right into the podcast. I'm going to keep this here. Just, I'm just joking. Let's jump right into the podcast. So Gia sent me something that she's seen online that she thought was very interesting for our podcast conversations. Let's play the clip right now.
The reason why I have a strong sexual appetite for my wife is because I don't go eat burgers and fries and shakes when I'm out. I eat when I get home. My eyes, I don't go feast on other women's bodies all day and then compare my wife's body that I've been with for 26 years to somebody's body that ain't even 26 years old.
It is so true that if a man is like, oh, I'm not attracted to my wife anymore. Look at his search history. Look at what he's looking at on social media. It is not normal for a married man to go and look at all these naked women on a screen. Of course, he's not going to be attracted to his wife anymore. He's meeting his sexual appetite. He's feeding it with a bunch of other women. Sometimes I'll even hear a woman say, I don't care if my man looks but doesn't touch. One day he's going to get bored of you because he has feasted his eyes on every other woman he had access to. Whenever a man says something like, I can't imagine being with one woman for the rest of my life. Yeah, it's because you've been feeding your lust. You're looking at naked woman after naked woman after naked woman on your social media, on your internet searches. In real life, you're staring at every other woman. And so then, yeah, by the time you look at your wife, you're like, it could be better. If looking at altered images affects women's self-esteem, if looking at women who have had a ton of work done affects women's self-esteem, you think men aren't impacted by looking at all these images? A good man will protect his eyes. He's not going to be out there staring at every other woman, fantasizing about every other woman. He knows that to protect his marriage, he will have self-control day in and day out instead of being this like very lustful kind of guy. If a man tells me, oh, I'm just not attracted to my wife anymore, I already know what he's been looking at. I know that kind of man who falls out of love with his wife because he's not attracted to her anymore has fed his lust over and over and over. And that kind of man will never be satisfied.
So now, what is your thoughts on that clip?
I think it would be best for you to start with your thoughts because you're a man.
Okay. I do feel this. I feel like if somebody says they're tired of their wife, they never really love their wife. They love their wife's look. And I'm going to break it down. Of course, when you meet somebody, the first thing that usually people see is the attraction, right? It's the looks. It's how beautiful they look, how pretty they look, how handsome that individual is, because you're attracted to somebody's looks. Then once you get past the looks, it has to be the soul or the heart of a person, right? It has to be if you can really like the person, if you can have a great conversation. And then the looks don't really matter as much as anymore, right? It doesn't matter if that person that you fell for, if they have a third eye or if they get burnt or their looks start to fade, they start gaining weight, right? It shouldn't matter because you're with that person not just because of the looks, you're with that person because of the soul or heart. So when somebody says, I'm tired of my wife, I disagree with that woman when she says, well, it's because they look online and they see all these other women that are filtered. I don't agree with that. I think that person probably wasn't into you at all. Or it could be that people evolve, people change. And sometimes when I say evolve, usually when you hear evolve, it's for evolve for a good reason, but they can evolve for the bad too.
That's called devolving.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, or maybe they devolve.
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 Yeah.
Meaning people change, right? Maybe what I put up with before, I'm not putting up with now. Maybe that attitude that I thought was so cute, I'm just tired of. That doesn't mean I seen a chick with a big ass and now all of a sudden I want a chick with a big ass and my girl doesn't have a big ass and I want chicks with big ass. That doesn't necessarily mean that. People change in relationships. The best relationships, in my opinion, is when people change together, right? There's going to be things that Gia likes. There's going to be things that I like. But when it comes to our relationship, the heart and soul of our relationship is not based off of aesthetics, right? I'm happy. I'm ecstatic that my wife looks beautiful. I'm ecstatic that my wife still got a fat ass and big titties. That's me. I'm ecstatic. But if she didn't, I'm not there for the ass and titties. I'm not there for the beautiful face. I'm there for how she makes me feel. The conversations we have, her heart, her soul, and everything all evolve. So to me, it doesn't care. The aesthetics mean nothing, right? Because when we become 70, 80, 90, or it could be next year, when we all wrinkled up, who cares? And hopefully, we will ask her, she feels the same. So when people say, well, when men look online and they see all these women that look this way and look that way, and then they come back to their wife and their wife doesn't look the same, they don't want to be with their wife anymore. I don't really feel like he was with the wife for the right reasons anyway. I think that person was with the wife for a different reason, and that reason fades. It's just like women who are with men with money, right? They're not really with the guy because they love that individual. Let's be honest. They're not with that dude because...
Not all women that are...
I'm not saying all women. I'm saying women who look for men with money.
Look for men with money.
Right.
Yes.
They're not with the dude. So when the money starts to fade, what usually happens? The women start to fade. That's why you see a lot of women talking to a lot of older guys that's 80, and you look at them and you be like, there's no way that woman should be with that guy. He's 90 years old. He has 1 foot in heaven, and he's about to go. Right?
Or hell.
Well, she's right there just waiting, and she's just so happy. She's on a private jet, and what is she waiting for? She's waiting for him to die so she can keep that money. We see it all the time. It's the same thing. She's not there for that particular reason. So what I think that woman's saying is, I don't agree with. I was going to say it's bullshit, but it's bullshit, and I don't agree with it. What's your thoughts on it?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out where should I start? Mm-hmm. I don't think that it's BS.
Okay.
I do agree with you. I think that if you are truly in love with your partner,
right,
then the aesthetics
don't matter. That's what I'm saying. If it ain't for the right reason.
If you are truly in love with your partner. Mm-hmm. But I think that there's a lot of people out there that are married that don't experience that kind of love. Correct. I think a lot of people haven't discovered that kind of love. Mm-hmm. And it may be because that's not the type of love that their parents had or their aunts and uncles. They just may not be that familiar with it. And a lot of men do marry women as trophies, and a lot of women do marry men for money. And those aren't the only quote unquote wrong reasons to decide to spend the rest of your life with somebody. Mm-hmm. There are many wrong reasons. That's just the two most popular that pop up because it's probably the two most common things that we see, right? But I do think that exposure to a multitude of women or men can change a person's perspective.
Explain, break it down.
Okay. I knew a girl years and years and years ago, maybe 15, 17 years ago, who is married to a man, they're still married, who is married to a man who is of extraordinary means.
Okay.
And he's from Alabama. right? And she's a funny girl. So I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the way she told me the story. You may not like it, but this is the way she told me the story. She told me that when she met him, he thought that the sun rose and set on her.
Okay.
Because he thought that she was just the most beautiful thing that he had ever seen. And I said, okay. She said, yeah, but that's because he's from the sticks of Alabama and he didn't see a lot of beautiful women. What that means, I don't know. But this is what she told me. Like his exposure was, I guess maybe she meant that he's from a small town, you know? So when he saw me, he thought that I was everything. Then his job brought him to New York. So now he's in a big city with a whole lot of women. When he was in Alabama, he proposed to her. Like, I think they were together for maybe 2 months and he proposed to her. Then when he got to New York, it's like, whoa, hold on. There's a whole big world out here. It's not just what I see on TV.
Oh, big world, like, big titties and fat asses.
This is real life.
Right.
And then within, I don't know, maybe 2 years, he started cheating left and right. I'm just bringing up that example because sometimes it can be a person's exposure. And what social media and the internet did was brought all of these, as you call it, ass and titties, to the palm of your hand.
But it's a difference. He didn't say he didn't want to be with his wife anymore. He cheated on his wife, right? She's talking about men that say, I don't want to be with my wife no more. Like, I'm tired of her. I want something new.
I think it said, like, I'm not attracted to my wife.
Attracted. He didn't say he wasn't attracted to his wife. He was just dipping and diving. He didn't ever say he wasn't attracted. And that's totally two different things. Somebody could say,
I think it can kind of be taken hand in hand.
I don't think so.
I think that
if somebody cheats and he cheated, that doesn't mean he doesn't love his wife, he's not attracted to his wife, or he doesn't have feelings to his wife. What they said in that clip was they're tired of their wife and don't want to be with their wife anymore.
Yes.
Totally two different things.
Because what winds up happening is you get married. You're in a relationship for a few years. You have a couple of kids. As a woman, your body may change.
Correct.
As a mother, you're tired and exhausted.
You don't have the time for
you don't have
your
the
husband.
time for your, well, not the time for your husband. You don't have the time to put into yourself to be that bad chick that you were when we first met. Like when I first met, only person I had to worry about was me.
Right.
Like I was keeping myself cute. I had time to get ready, to go to work, to come home, to get fly, to go out on a Friday night and a Saturday night and a Sunday night and
side note,
sometimes a Monday night.
Tomorrow's take your kids to work day. So just know that you got to get up with me in the morning to get them ready. But go.
Yes. Yes.
Side note, since you was talking about not just me, you were talking about everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, you were saying, I don't have to be ready for me.
Yes, you have the time because you're single, you're ready to mingle, you're dating somebody, you have the time to be cute for them. But then when you get married, you have a whole host of other responsibilities that we talk about on this podcast all the time.
Correct.
So now I'm not just focusing all my attention on me. I'm focusing my attention on you because now I have to be a good wife. Now I have to cook, I have to clean. Before I just worried about my apartment and ordering Uber Eats if I wanted to. You know, now I'm cooking, now I'm cleaning, I'm taking care of kids, I'm bathing them, I'm helping them with their homework, I'm giving them like a lot of my time, a lot of my effort, a lot of my attention. So I don't have the time to put into myself as much as I did before. So when you take that in consideration, you take into consideration the wear and tear that having a baby can have on a woman's body. Women change. Our appearance may change. The effort that we put into ourselves may change. So now a lot of men, a lot of husbands will compare that. And it's not, a lot of men, because we're not just talking about people that are married. You could just be in a relationship. A lot of men will, I don't know whether it's consciously or subconsciously, maybe both, compare their wife to the women that they're seeing in the palms of their hands. And when they're going to sleep or when they get in the bed and they're fantasizing, a lot of times it's not about their wives. It's about the woman on the internet, the woman on their social media. And the woman in the video was, referring to women that what you see may not be their authentic selves. So she's basically saying that, regular women, normal women can be at a disadvantage because they're being compared to something that is hard to compare to. You know what I mean? So she's basically saying that men should regulate
what they look at.
So that they save their sexual appetite or their appetite for attraction for the woman that they're committed to. And I do think that the exposure to all of these sites, because before social media, it's the women that you saw on television and the women that you saw in real life. And the women that you saw on television were actresses and, you know, models and things of that nature. But now it seems as though, dang, like Keisha from next door looks like this.
So what about dudes?
Keisha from...
Women look at dudes or they buff dudes?
And listen, it goes both ways. I'm speaking kind of lopsided because I'm speaking from the female perspective, as you were speaking from the male perspective. But yes, indeed, it goes both ways.
Right.
But I do think that having all of this media, all of these images, all of these videos, I think that it can really skew a person's reality and all of these images that this visual information that they're taking in can definitely make them satisfied and desensitized to their wife and your average woman.
No, I think if they're jerking off to those Instagram pictures, I think that's something
I think
different.
they're definitely doing that.
But I think if it's porn, you're masturbating to watching that porn, or you're getting aroused by that. I think by looking, I don't think that person was never into you. If you could look at somebody on Instagram, that's a picture that's probably chopped up, that their ass was made bigger, their titties was made bigger, their waist was made thinner, their thumb is made bigger. I just think that...
Oh, the thumb.
You see that picture?
I don't know if I saw that picture. They might not know what you're talking about.
You seen that picture? Oh, I'll send it to you. So this girl photoshopped her body and made her ass bigger, but forgot her thumb was on her ass.
When she...
So the thumb is mad big.
Manipulated it.
Yeah. So the
it
thumb
manipulated the thumb.
It's like the size of a forearm.
So it was like receipts all over that picture. It was terrible. But anyway, go ahead.
But what I was saying, I mean, it's like, now if somebody's stalking a picture and you're stalking and you're salivating over something, that's the same as looking at porn. I don't think most men do that. I don't think. Esther.
Wait, how do we get to porn though?
Because porn.
We're not
is something
talking about
different.
porn.
What I'm saying is, porn is something I feel like takes the sexual drive away. Because you're actually seeing sex. You're actually seeing nakedness. You're actually seeing vagina. They're busting it open. You're seeing asshole. Awesome. You're seeing all that.
Yeah.
Looking at women on Instagram that men find that are pretty or attractive, I don't think that can affect a relationship where a man wants to leave.
Hold on.
If a man wants to leave off of seeing a picture, that's like a man wanting to leave after seeing a movie of an attractive girl. I didn't see that. I don't feel like you're in that situation for a long time.
We're not talking about the man wanting to leave. She never said that the man wants to leave.
The man is tired of the relationship.
She said that I don't recall, I could be wrong. I don't recall her saying that he wants to leave. I recall her saying that he's not attracted to his wife anymore.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that he wants to leave. He may want to stay for the kids and the family.
But if he's not attracted to his wife, I don't feel like he was ever there for the right reason. He was only there for the looks. Okay. And if he's only there for the looks,
but that's not
that was going to happen regardless.
Right, but we're talking about like the porn and the guy wanting to leave. I'm saying, how did we get into porn?
I was just saying porn, I understand, can affect the sexual drive because you see different things, you masturbate to it. But if a guy looks at a woman's picture and says, damn, I don't want my wife anymore, I want this picture, he was never into that woman.
Okay, you're talking about, act like you're a man.
I am.
Listen. Okay.
I'll show you I'm a man or not.
No, but this is too clean. This is too clean.
What is too clean?
This is too clean.
What is too clean?
Because, okay.
If I look at
I know you said you're acting as though all of these men, not all of you.
So if I look at a big booty hole, I'm not going to want my big booty hole?
Let me finish. What if you don't have a big booty hoe?
What do you mean?
What if you have a small booty hoe and you're looking at big booty hoes all day? It might heighten your awareness like, damn. I wish I had that. She got this little booty, and I ain't into little booties like that, especially now I'm seeing all these big booties. You might look at your wife that you was so attracted to before, like, more attracted to the big booties.
I'm attracted to I don't care if my wife has big booty or little booty.
No, I'm not talking,
big titties
I'm not talking about you. I know, but we're not talking about you. We're talking about men.
That means they're not there for the right reason. If they don't want their woman all the time, they're not there for the right reason.
I understand, and I agreed with you.
You see what I'm saying? That's not like if a big booty is going to take you off your dean, you're not there for the right reason. You just
We
want
know
it.
this. I agreed with you when I
They need to
started.
break up regardless.
I agreed with you when I started. Yes.
All right, let's.
Can I finish?
All right, for
God, I
instance,
can't get my thought out.
who's the woman with the biggest ass?
You're just gonna keep talking.
Who's the woman with the biggest
Okay,
ass?
let me
you know?
finish. Apparently.
Tinkerbell.
I don't even know who Tinkerbell is, but my wife's ass is bigger than Tinkerbell's. To me, it is. That's what I said. Nope.
Never.
To me, it is.
I don't know who Tinkerbell is,
even
but I know my
Tinkerbell
butt's
is.
not bigger than hers.
It's bigger than Tinkerbell because that's my ass, and I can make it however I want it. It's
No,
bigger
you
than
can't. What are you talking about? You're just talking about in your mind.
Tinkerbell. Yes, in my mind.
Well, do you mentally make my butt bigger than what it is?
No, I'm just saying if that was the situation, my ass, I don't even know what Tinkerbell
I think what
is.
you're trying
I'm
to
sorry,
say
Tinkerbell,
is
for
that you're
putting you
just
out
satisfied with what you have.
Yes.
Okay, that's all well and good. I'm talking about for most men. For instance, you're just talking about porn. Most men. Well, I don't. Maybe it's not fair to say most men. Many men go to Instagram. Go to Instagram and follow all of these Instagram girls.
Okay.
They're not doing it because they're just, wanting to see like what kind of mother they are, or their shopping hauls and their get dressed with me's. No, they're going there because they want to see the bikini pics, or where they're more scantily clad and more sexual pictures. How I know? Thirst traps, great. No, they're not all thirst traps, but yes, thirst traps, whatever. How I know? Because I'll be on my explore page and I'll see somebody that I might like their makeup and I'll click on it and I'm like, oh, pretty girl, whatever. I'll be like, oh, this guy that I know follows her and that guy that I know follows her. Well, maybe not follows, like the pic, and this guy that I know liked the pic.
What up, DB?
And-
DB, yo. Yo.
Yo, what is wrong? Don't do that.
What
are you doing?
For Instagram, right?
What are you
Because
doing?
I follow my homie, right?
Don't do that.
And he
What are you
follows
doing?
likes all these pictures. They be popping up on my Explorer page, right? And when they pop on my Explorer page, the first like I see is,
Yo, me too!
I'm like, why the fuck? I'm like, why is this person here? I look,
Yeah.
DB.
Okay, we're gonna bleep out his name.
No, we're not.
What? That's not.
EBI,
You shouldn't do that.
EBI, he's the homie.
Anyway, so yeah, he's one of them. But I have about like 10 male friends that I know that they are all over these girls' pages. And some of these guys have girlfriends, some of them are married, and it's like, okay, that's what they want to consume. And I do think that it absolutely skews a man's version of reality, especially as it compares to how he views the woman that he's with.
I don't.
Do you agree?
I don't necessarily think so.
Estai absolutely agrees.
See, this is the thing, right? And I know that the whole thing, you act like men are blind, right? Men see everything, right? But it's what they act upon, right? It's what they act upon.
No.
Meaning,
No.
this is.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna lie. It's not just what you do.
What do you mean?
There's certain things that I don't want you thinking about. There's certain things I don't want you lusting after. There's certain things I don't want you desiring.
Lusting
So if I'm being,
and desiring is different. That is different. That is
what are you
different.
talking about?
So, all right, the same man goes to the strip club. Is there a problem with that?
What are you talking about?
The same man that looked at a picture online goes to the strip club with his boys. Is there a problem with that? Because a strip club is not just a place where you go to look and get pussy per se.
Why would you say that word?
A strip club is a gathering spot now, right? It's a gathering spot. It is. Before it was, oh, we don't go. But now it's so many of them, it's a gathering spot. You go there to go to the club. You go there to hear new music. But there's also...
Hold on. You go to the strip club to hear new music.
You do.
I want to know what's popping this week. Let's go to the strip club and
It's the
see.
truth. 'Cause in a
You
lot-
sound like a lunatic.
Nah, but in a lot of places like Atlanta, there's more strip clubs at one point than regular clubs. So you go with your boys, you go with your girls. Girls go to the strip club, fellas go to the strip club. You take your girl to the strip club. It's a gathering spot. Am I right? Estai, am I right? You've been to the strip club with me before.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. I'm not. Why are you acting like I'm the
You've been-
enemy? I'm not the enemy. I've dedefinitely been to the strip
So
club
what's
with
the
you.
difference between
And I actually enjoy the strip club sometimes.
What's the difference between a guy going to the strip club and looking at a picture online? Because online, you're not even going to see this person. Like, you
Okay.
don't talk to this person.
I'm not-
They don't know you in a strip
I'm
club.
going to answer your question.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm not talking about a person that looks at a picture online. I'm talking about men that are semi-obsessed
Okay, that's different.
with looking at pictures online. We can't completely control what we consume because things pop up. Yes, you are going to see it. We don't walk around with blinders on, obviously. I'm talking about men that seek it out. The difference between that and someone that goes to the strip club, like you mentioned, we've gone to the strip club together. We do that as a social thing, and we go and we have fun. We have a good time together. It's an occasional thing. Now, if you were going to the strip club every week, we'd have a problem. Do you understand? Because that means that you are semi-obsessed with what you're consuming at the strip club. So yes, there is a difference.
I would just say this. If somebody is tired of the relationship or tired of you because of a picture that they see,
Not a picture.
a bunch of pictures that they see, I feel like they wasn't into you at all anyway. They are with you for the wrong reasons. They were with you for aesthetics. And when your aesthetics have changed, because maybe you ate too much, or maybe you had a baby, or maybe you just got older, he changed. And I think that is the major problem. That is my opinion.
Let me take it a step further. Okay.
I'm listening.
Let me take it outside of just,
I'm
the
listening.
video. You don't believe that most men, as they're in a relationship and their woman's appearance begins to change and not for the better.
Okay.
You don't think that most men start to lose attraction, even if they're there for the right reason?
No.
Attraction.
No. And men, I would love to hear from you. If you love your woman, you love your wife, you love your girl, and they get a little big. What's up, Jax? Get ready. Madison's coming to pick you up for soccer. We can't talk. What do you need? Tell us quick. I don't know either. So you're just throwing something red.
Look in the red bin.
The red bin.
The red bin. It's right there.
All right,
There's a bin that has all the red stuff in it.
Sorry, we still have Irma, so we do it every day. But as I was saying, what was I saying? I was saying, oh, yes, men, if you're listening, if you're watching, you and I both know if you love your woman and you seen your woman at the lowest and you seen your woman legs open, baby popping out, vagina this big.
Not that big.
You still love her.
That big.
He said that's not bad.
It's
you still love her. You seen her when she gained weight. You seen her when she lost weight. You seen her when she has wrinkles. You seen her all types of, and hopefully she's seen you the same way. If you lost an attraction for that, I don't think you're in it for the right reason. My wife has seen me in all types of different ways. Throwing up, belly down, sick, you name it. Got beat up, black eyes, you name it. And hopefully you didn't lose any love for me, right?
No.
Right? But that's how it should be. I had to ask just in case. But that's how it should be. I'm not with Gia because she looks beautiful. I'm not with Gia because she's intelligent. I'm not with Gia because of any other reason. He says, Cap, it's the truth. The first reason I started talking to her was because I seen them bouncing titties and how beautiful she looked. But
That was the beginning.
But that's not the reason why she's there.
That was the beginning.
When things get nasty and when things get bad out there in this world, because nothing is ever perfect, she's right with me. We've had money, we've lost money. We've had success, we've had failures. That's better than the way that anybody looks. That feeling of having somebody that always have your back, when I'm talking to her on the phone, I don't see what she looks like. I don't care. I care that I have my baby. And I would love to know from the fellas that think the same way like me. Maybe they don't. Maybe like, shit, my bitch get a little ugly. I ain't fucking with it. I don't know. But when it comes to my baby, I don't care how she looks. I don't care what she wears. I don't care what she dresses like. She's my baby.
And I do feel that from you.
Okay.
I do feel that from you. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get to pillow talk.
What's in, what's up, what's down? Who's trending? I wanna know now. Can we talk? Can we pillow talk now? Can we talk? Let's pillow talk now.
All right. Today's pillow talk conversation is Shannon Sharpe. We got to talk about Shannon Sharpe. Where I first want to talk about Shannon Sharpe is how do you feel about Shannon Sharpe dating or talking to a 19-year-old? At the age of, in his 50s, early 50s, I don't know the exact age, but allegedly she was 19 and he was 52 or 53. What is your thoughts on that? It's not against the law, right? Mm-hmm. I will say this, it's not against the law, And I see a lot of white celebrities do it. And I know people are like, well, why is it going to be white and black? Because a lot of times when I see white celebrities do it, I see a lot of people give them high fives. Leonardo DiCaprio was running around with that young
How
Lala
young
thing.
was she?
I don't know but she was very young.
How young is
She
her?
might have been a teen. 19, I believe so. He's looking it up right now. Can you look that up?
26.
She was 26.
That's not the same thing.
Double check, because I thought she was young. I wrote them all down, but I left them at work.
He's 50, she's 26.
50, 26, all right? Look at another one. Look at the dude, Joaquin, whatever. He played the Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't know who he's with, but Joaquin.
You know what I mean?
J-O-A.
I looked him up. Oh, perfect one. Seinfeld. Look at Seinfeld. Whatever his name is. You know what I mean?
Seinfeld.
I'm not good with the white celebrities, but look at
Whichever way.
No, I want him to get it because I want to make sure that this, that, and the other. But even with...
He was 38, she was 17.
He was 38.
And 17.
And she was 17, right? Nobody really said anything. All these people I'm talking about, even though one was 26, 50, the age difference is crazy, right? People high-fived him.
Did people high-five him?
I think so. You never heard nothing about it like this. Now, with him, she was allegedly 19, he was 52. It's not against the law.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
What's your thoughts? Now, before I tell you mine.
I think that's wild.
What part of it?
He's absolutely of age to be her father, and not a father that had his child young.
And he has a 30-year-old too, by the way.
There you go. Dating someone that's 19, that's, in my opinion, although legally it's an adult, it's still a child. It's still a child. I don't trust Logan to choose his own tattoo without my input, or to choose a tattoo artist without my input.
He just FaceTimed you, by the way. You said Logan, he just FaceTimed. See, it says FaceTime, Miss Call, but go ahead.
Okay. And he's 21. 19, you're still growing. You're still figuring out who you are. You're still learning how to be an adult. So for someone that's 50 to be attracted to a 19-year-old, that seems wild.
I agree.
To me. It's my opinion.
I think it's creepy. I think it's very, very creepy. And this is my problem with it. And this is where he's finding himself and getting into a lot of trouble, right? She's a 19-year-old, I'll say allegedly. I know it.
She was or is?
She's not 19 anymore. I think she's 22 now. Okay. But she was 19 when they first started talking, allegedly. Now, the crazy thing about this is when you see her, she looks young. She looks like she should be on Logan's campus in Miami as a freshman. She looks very, very young. She's an OnlyFans worker, but my whole thing is this. Even when you hear her talk, it doesn't feel like she has the intellectual capacity to even talk to him, right? So it makes me feel like the reason he's doing it is because he controls the power, right? And I feel like he's in this situation because he feels like he could talk to her any which way. Now, it might have been consensual. The tapes that I heard sound crazy. They sound crazy.
I only heard one. You heard more than one?
Yeah, there was, I think, two. One came out today, too.
Okay.
But the problem with it is we don't know the context of it. He said that they were role playing and this, that, and the other. Sounds crazy as shit to me. But I feel like people should stay in a certain age bracket, right? There's nothing at my age right now that I can have a conversation with an 18-year-old or 19-year-old that could put me on the same intellectual level. It just can't happen. I'm sure they don't even know who Doogie Howser is. I'm sure they don't even know who the Jetsons are. I'm sure when it comes to the Cosby Show, they don't even know who. Damn, I don't even know who Bud is. Right? I'm sure they don't even know Missy Elliott. And this is another thing.
Hey, Madison.
To look at it on another route.
Madison's 21. Do you know who Doogie Howser is? Oh, sorry. She's 23. I was just talking about Logan, who's 21. She's 23. Do you know who Doogie Howser is?
She said no.
Who else did you say?
Bud. You know who Bud is? See, she doesn't know. She knows from Missy Elliott. She knows music.
Just from the Cosby Show.
Bill Cosby. She said Bill Cosby.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
See, got it. But my point is, you can't have a conversation with me that we can speak and we can talk and that we can feed off of each other because you don't know the same things that I do know. So I do know in some ethnic groups, they do marry a lot younger, right? I do know somebody that's Spanish or Latino, and I'm not, everybody thinks I'm Dominican. I'm not Dominican, but I think he was like 35 and he married like a 19-year-old. And the family was fine with it. They were cool with it. They got married, they have kids. I just find it weird. And I always tell everybody, look at it like this. If my daughter, if Madison, who just left here at 23, came home with a 54-year-old man, it would be a problem. It would be a problem. First of all, we would fight. And Shannon Sharpe is big. So if a dude like Shannon Sharpe came, me and Logan would have to jump him, right? And Esther would have to jump him because he's really, really big. But pause. But my point is, it's like they have nothing in common. As a father, you should be looking at it differently. You know, it's very disappointing to see somebody like Shannon Sharpe, who is doing so well in his career after football, to make this mistake because of his sexual drive. And maybe he is a little kinky. Maybe he does like BDSM, and maybe he does like to have anal sex, and he likes to talk dirty from what I heard. That's fine. But find somebody in your bracket, in my opinion. You know, maybe it's a fantasy. He likes the young girls. Maybe that's the porn that he likes. Little cheerleader girls, this, that, and the other. It just sounds crazy to me. It is legal. So you can do, but
that's why I said my opinion.
Ethically and morally, to me, Rashawn Casey, that shit is wild.
Yeah, I agree.
That shit is wild. And I think it's going to cost him his career. I think it's going to cost him his job, and he's going to have to start back over. And it's going to cost him a lot of money. So we'll see what happens.
He's being accused of
rape, sexually assault.
So it's someone that he's had a relationship with, I think for 2 years.
Yeah.
And she's claiming that on certain occasions that he sexually abused her.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, I won't make judgment until we hear all the facts because lawyers play games, and I think we all know that. The fact that they put out a little clip, we don't see the context. We don't know if they were playing a role-playing thing. You know, it could have been that type of thing. The type of things that he's into, it kind of seems like that's something he would do. Like, it seems like he's into that type of thing.
What I saw was that he said that he suspects that a 30-second clip is going to be put out. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not sure if this is the exact amount of time, but something to this effect, that a 30-second clip is going to be put out, but it was a 10-minute situation. So he challenged the lawyer to put out the entire 10 minutes so that the entire context would be understood. Yeah, but no lawyer. Seen.
Lawyer's trying to win. You think if the context is going in your direction, he's going to put it out? No, he's not.
But I mean, I think that to me, that says something. That means that it makes me more hypersensitive to looking at, if the 30-second clip does come out, looking at that and taking it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You know, saying there may be a greater context. And although I don't agree with his choice as it pertains to her age, I will say, a nod to what you just mentioned, that whether he's guilty or not, the accusation alone is going to harm him. And in the case that he is innocent, that's not fair.
Yeah. And I would also say this, as brothers, and I'm not talking when I say brothers as Black people, I'm just saying as brothers and family members, when we have friends and we have brothers and we have cousins, we have to make sure that we are their eyes and ears. Meaning, if you see somebody walking down the wrong path and you know they're doing something stupid because their dick is hard or they just want some pee, we got to be like, yo, bro, smarten up. Like, you're about to lose everything over this P. And is this P worth it?
But isn't that the crazy thing, though?
What?
It's the scenario that's tried and true, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again, right in front of our faces. So many men that have reached a certain level of success stand to lose it all over their lack of control when it comes to sex and their appetite.
But the crazy thing about it is
it's like
he wasn't married. He's not married. He's single. So he can have sex with whoever he wants, and he can fulfill his desires as long as it's consensual. But I just feel like with this, playing with a 19, 20-year-old, 21-year-old that doesn't have the intellect to, I just think you're just asking for it.
Yeah, it just comes down to men's choices. And I'm going to say more exclusively men. You don't really see women in this situation. It seems that men have a greater propensity towards being stupid. Like, how do you not see where this can lead? How can you not foresee the problems that are going to be laying at your feet if you continue to make these bad decisions? And not for nothing, a lot of you men give these women too much credit. Like, you think like, oh, she would never, or you're dealing with a 19-year-old kid.
Right.
If this is the case, if what we're hearing is true, like you're giving her too much credit. You don't see down the road all the potential problems that may pop up and completely implode your life. Like,
yeah,
and it's not just him. It's just so many men. Like, the power of the P. Like, I would love to be a man for one day just to understand it. You know, just so I could like relate, so we could be speaking the same language, because I don't get it. Your whole reputation, your whole career, your wife, your family, all that's good in the world for you. Like, it's worth a few romps in the hay. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, well, it always takes me back to this picture of these two kids on the playground, right? A boy and a girl. And the girl opens up her pants, and the guy's looking down her pants.
The boy?
Yeah, the boy's looking down her pants.
Uh-huh.
And then in the caption, it goes, "This is going to ruin your life one day." And I always just think about that caption.
Where'd you see that? I've never seen it.
It was all over the net. You know what I'm seeing it before?
No.
Whole picture. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's see if I can pull it up and you put it up here. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's get to the email of the week.
If you don't know what to do or think, put it in a letter. Just send it. We'll read it. The email of the week. The email of the week.
All right. Please don't say my name. Casey family. Gia, I'm such a fan. Like, the subject of my email says, "You are my Beyonce and inspire me so much. I have read your book multiple times, taken notes, and listened to the audio version. LOL. I am a better person and mother because of you and your advice and perspective on life and motherhood. I am so glad you're back podcasting. It truly has been so valuable to my life. I have recently become a single mom of four. Who is and one who is a nonverbal and has special needs after my husband of 14 years had an affair with a coworker and abandoned us. He doesn't have a relationship with our kids and provides very little support. I lost my mortgage job of over a decade during COVID due to me working in the foreclosure department, where our work quickly dried up after not being able to foreclosure on property during the pandemic, and I have yet been able to recover. Tonight, I end the day praying that my electricity doesn't get cut off after having to be $20 short because I used $20 of the bill to buy ramen noodles and a few things for my kids to eat. My question is, when you have been in survival mode or going through a hard time, what is the thing you have told yourself or someone has told you to keep you going? I'm always able to take away a gem from your podcast or any interview that does help me in my real life. And know you would say just the thing I need to hear to help me stay strong. Thank you in advance. Hey, Envy. LOL, I didn't forget about you, but love your input as well. So what would you say to her to give her the strength to keep going? Because she seems like she needs a little encouragement. What would you say to her?
My personal take, and believe me, you know, I've had my struggles. We've had our struggles. Mm-hmm. But I honestly believe that everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. My son Logan He always jokes about the fact that I say that often. But there's been times where I've suffered, and no matter how bad the suffering has been, I've always been able to extract something positive out of it. There's always been a lesson learned. And it's funny, we were on a podcast during our press week. It's called Decisions. Some of you may watch that podcast or listen to it. And Weezy and I were engaged in an exchange. And I don't really remember what exactly it was about, but I replied to her by saying that I kind of collect bad experiences. And she asked me if I had ever said that before. And I said, what do you mean by that? She's like, is that like one of your taglines? Is that something that you say? Because that sounds very interesting. And it's like making me think. And I said, no, this is the first time that I'm saying it, because right here in this seat, I'm kind of putting that into perspective. And what I mean by I collect bad experiences is that when I pray at night and I thank God for all of the things that's good, you know, my beautiful family, the fact that we do have a roof over our head, the fact that I enjoy my life. I love my life, and that I'm grateful for waking up that day, because so many people don't have that blessing. So I'm grateful for every day. When I get through that part of my prayer, I go on to thank God for all of the bad things that I've experienced, all of the negative things that I've encountered, all of the ways that my life has been affected in a way that was hurtful to me. And I thank God for those things, because for each and every single one of those things, I did become stronger, but I became wiser. I became more experienced. I became more understanding of people that encounter similar things, which means that I become more empathetic and I become more compassionate. You can only understand what someone else is going through to the degree or to the extent that you possibly can without having experienced that same thing yourself. Nobody really understands until they go through the same thing. But when you have these bad experiences, it makes you so much more in touch and understanding of people that do. So I would say to you that you can look at it the way that I look at many things. Everything happens for a reason. There's something that I'm gaining from this experience that may never even be revealed to me. I may have no idea why I went through this and what it was that I stood to gain, because God doesn't always reveal that to you. But just trust and know that God never gives us things that we can't handle. He doesn't give us burdens that we can't bear. So maybe this is for you to be stronger. Maybe it's so that your kids can see you be stronger. And there's a value in the struggle. You know, you may or may not see it the same way, but there's value in struggle. There's times in my life where I've struggled or we've struggled, and I could go on for an additional hour about the things that I've learned and taken away from struggle. So maybe there's something that you're taking away that will benefit you now, or that'll benefit your kids in the future. Maybe they'll learn, you know, the value of having, the value of what's to be learned when you don't have, etc. So I would try to look at it as though everything is happening for a reason.
Yeah, and I think Gia is spot on. And also what I would like, and if this is cool, Gia, If you send me your address, we'd love to send you our new book, Real Life, Real Family. Also send me the ages of your kids, because I'm sure we have some toys in here, or we can pick up your kids some toys to help you out with that. And just put a little change in there as well to make sure that you can take care of the electricity and the ramen at the same time. So if you can, definitely send your email. And we appreciate you for listening. And things will change. I know they will. And thank you for rocking out with us. And we will continue to pray for you. And like I said, just email Mercedes your house address, and we'll send you something. Just a nice little box, just a nice little thank you box from the KC crew to you.
Yes.
All right. And everybody else, we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, Atlanta, we're coming to your city next week. If you haven't picked up the book, pick up Real Life, Real Family, and leave a review. Let us know what you like even more, and that you like me better than Gia. Leave it all in a review and pick it up right now. If you're thinking about having kids, you have kids, or you know somebody that has kids, this is a perfect gift. It's all about raising kids. This is not the perfect book. It's not the perfect family, but hopefully it's an instruction manual to help you on your journey.
And if you're busy and you don't have time to read, get the Audible. You can listen to it to and from work or school, where Sean and I narrate it. And there is bonus content at the end where Mercedes interviews all of the kids.
That's right.
So it's only available with the Audible.
That's right. So we'll see you guys next week. I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the KC Crew.
Doodles.